When that great light hit the Apostle Paul on the Damascus Road and he met Jesus for the first time, Paul asked one question. Not, what do you want me to know? What do you want me to study? What do you want me to become? Paul asked, what do you want me to do? And then halfway through his life, he wrote, this one thing I do, I press on for the prize of high calling in Christ Jesus. At the end of his life, the last thing he wrote was, I have finished the course. In other words, I did it. Well, doing became very important to me, kind of a mandate I felt for my life. I want to be a doer of the word, not just a teacher of the word or a hearer of the word. And I want the people I work with then to become doers of his will. I was singles pastor at Fraser Memorial United Methodist Church in Montgomery, Alabama for 3.5 years. I called Bobby into my office. A very attractive young lady. Nothing sexy about her. She just cheerleader cute, flashing eyes, charming smile, a laugh that would warm your heart. I said, I've got a project. I want to rent the Montgomery Zoo on a Saturday morning, 9:30 to 12:30. I want to bring in handicapped children, institutionalized handicapped children out of hospitals. Now, in order to do that, I need somebody to run the program. That would be you. She looked at me. I said, yeah, now here's what we have to do. We need the mayor to come cut the ribbon. We need TV coverage. Ronald McDonald needs to come and do a show. We have to have 3 singles for every child. 2 to take care of the child and 1 to, boil hot dogs and paint faces, that kind of thing. We need an army. We've got 450 singles to mount for this morning. I need you to run it. She looked at me and she said, you don't want me. I said, yeah, I do. She said, you don't know my story. I said, yes, I do. She said, you don't know my whole story. I said, I know your whole story. You know I'm 27 years old. I've been married 4 times and divorced. I said, I know that. You know my daddy calls me the Elizabeth Taylor of Montgomery, Alabama? I said, I know that. But who cares? She said, what? I said, who cares? I'm not talking to the old Bobby. I'm talking to the new Bobby who really loves Jesus. And his love just exudes from your pores. I need you to do this. She said, well, will the group trust me? I said, they will if I tell them to. So she did. We ran that whole program for 3 years. It's incredible. We got involved in the lives of those kids. We bought beds. We bought specialized wheelchairs. It was an incredible, incredible time. And I'd watch 450 singles, supercilious, self-thinking single people. You understand? Watch while those buses pulled away from the zoo, crying, waving at those children. Interesting sidelight. They spent those hours not thinking about themselves and their problems. We had a saying in singles, nobody loves a martyr until he's dead. So put your martyr card away and get over it. Get busy doing something for someone else. Another thing that happened, it really changed Bobby. Gave her great confidence in who Jesus was in her life. Some 22, 23 years later, I hadn't seen her for all that time. Debbie and I were driving down from Auburn, Alabama, coming back to Orlando. And I said, let's stop in Columbus, Georgia. It's where Bobby and her husband now of over 20 years. She's very happily married. It's where she lives. Let's get breakfast. So we did. Bobby and her husband came, and in the middle of our conversation, Bobby looked at me and said, you know, you're the first person who ever told me, who cares? That I could really get over my guilt and my failure, my disappointment. Jesus did that for me. And as we were leaving the restaurant that morning, Bobby and her husband going back to their lives, Deb and I driving on to Orlando, she reached out and hugged me. She's a short little girl, still really cute. A lady now, but she pulled me down, put her lips right next to my ear. She said, you set me free. Thank you. Debbie said, we were talking about this episode, said, you're probably talking to some people who are loaded with guilt and failure and disappointment, and they need somebody to say to them, who cares? Jesus can help you, get you through it all, whatever. So if I can ever help you, you contact me, just DerrickJohnson.com, DerrickJohnson.com. I'd love to talk to you. Take me up on it. One day closer.